We are introduced to the character of Fox in the first montage aboard the train. Fox is not depicted in the opening talking headshots between the other guys. Riding on what is now an uncrowded train, most of the warriors are fooling around and teasing one another, but the Fox stays quiet. He seems to observe the horseplay with a nonplussed look. Doubtless he has seen these antics before. We get the feeling that he is the more serious of the group. In the next scene, we see as he, at the meeting along with the other warriors, watched Cyrus climb a scaffold and rouse the throng in the park.
Can you count, suckers? I say the future is ours. If you can count. Not organized, but ready to fight.
Cyrus is a very charismatic orator and is giving an impassioned speech about uniting hundreds of New York street gangs under him.
One gang could run this city. One gang. Nothing would move without us allowing it to happen. We could tax the crime syndicates, the police, because we got the streets, suckers!
The gang members in the park, for their part, are quiet. There are hundreds of young men there intently listening to what Cyrus has to say. Most of these gangs seem to be in their own little groups, but the warriors appear to be spread out. Two there, one there.
Two there, one there.
They're all paying great attention to Cyrus's little get-together. After all, it may be a way to get out from under. In one instance, we see Fox angle for a different vantage point. He leaves the spot he is in and moves further down and closer to get a better look. This is critical. By the way, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie by now, you'd better. I'm about to ruin it anyway, so pause the video here and come back later after you've seen it, or rewatched it even. When Cyrus is shot by Luther, leader of the rogue street gang, Fox is in a perfect position to witness the act. He saw the gun in Luther's hand. The sudden assassination of Cyrus, as you might imagine, causes the entire stadium of street gangs to panic and start to run around. They all run around in concentric circles, but that's the director's choice. I think in real life they would have just left, but I don't want to nitpick. Now, Fox is frozen in amazement and a little trepidation. It's almost as if he, as would a real fox in the woods, wanted to freeze and hope he wouldn't be noticed by a predator. Luther does see him, though, and even points the gun at him with intentions to shoot. Fox really is frozen, as he still does not move. But before he can fire, Luther is suddenly blinded by large field lights that the police have had the park turn on. This allows Fox to gather his wits and get out of there. It is critically important to note that Fox did see who likely pulled the trigger. Rembrandt is lost in this mayhem. Small and thin, he is maybe the most unintimidating of the warriors. He runs into Fox, and with fear and uncertainty, he asks if Cleon is all right.
Come on, move it! Is Cleon all right? I think he's up there. Are you sure? No. Come on, move it!
The most expeditious thing is for Fox to get Rembrandt out of there before they are killed or captured by the police. At the start of the panic, Cleon boldly pushes his way to where Cyrus has been laid down by his men.
Get out of the way.
He looks down at the once great leader with a pained expression that says, "What a waste." As it turns out, it was senseless. Luther would later confess he had no reason to shoot Cyrus. Luther and his rogues had approached the Rift's skirmish line. Seeing a warrior's vest standing there, Luther wanted to make sure his gang wasn't the one being blamed for the assassination. We hear Luther's voice for the first time scream,
There he is! That's him! That's the warrior!
Cleon turns around to see what this is all about.
He's got Cyrus!
He made you crazy. I didn't do nothing.
We saw him! Yeah, that's him. He's the one! He's the one! The warriors did it! The warriors did it!
Luther has worked himself up into a frenzy. So much so, to sell his point, he jumps the line and runs at Cleon. This would not end well for him, as Cleon would dispatch him and his cronies with flair and little effort.
The warriors did it! The warriors did it!
The damage was done, though. The Rifts had watched as Luther and his fools ran in and were laid out. In calmer times, they would have not intervened, but right now they were in a fervor over their fallen leader. They quickly overwhelmed Cleon and pummeled him.